What's good, Raider Nation? Buckle up, because we're diving into the heart of the Silver and Black's 2025 offseason. And let me tell you, it's electric. Our boy Maxx Crosby just dropped a brutally honest message that's got every Raiders fan buzzing with excitement. After a rough 4-13 season, the Las Vegas Raiders are making big moves, and Crosby's words are lighting a fire under us all. So, what's the vibe heading into 2025? Let's break it down. The Raiders' offseason has been a whirlwind of change. New coach Pete Carroll, a blockbuster trade for Geno Smith, and a draft pick in Ashton Janney that's got everyone talking. But the real spark? Maxx Crosby's relentless drive. He's not just talking the talk, he's walking it. And his message about hard work is a wake-up call for the entire team. Raiders fans, are you ready for a season where we fight tooth and nail to get back to glory? Let's see what Maxx is preaching. Crosby's been grinding with his teammates, setting the tone for what could be a massive turnaround. According to Nick Walters from KTNB, Maxx credits the team's intense offseason work for why the Raiders are poised to shock the NFL in 2025. From OTAs to the weight room, the Silver and Black are putting in the sweat to make sure they're not just playing, they're dominating. What do you think, Raider Nation? Is this the year we finally shut down the doubters? Stick with me as we unpack Max's message, his recovery from a brutal injury, and what it all means for our beloved Raiders. From his contract extension to the new faces on the roster, we're building something special in Las Vegas. Let's dive into the first scene and get hyped for what's coming. Maxx Crosby isn't just a player. He's the heartbeat of the Raiders' defense. His message this week was raw and real. Hard work separates the elite from the rest. In Week 10, Week 12, everybody knows your plays, your schemes, Maxx said. It's about who's willing to sacrifice and push through. That's the kind of mentality that makes you believe this team is ready to battle in the AFC West. Think about it. Last season, the Raiders were hit hard by injuries, and yet the defense, led by Crosby, was the one bright spot. Even with a 4-13 record, they kept games close, thanks to that relentless front four. Max's leadership is contagious, and he's got guys like Jackson Powers-Johnson and Malcolm Kuntz buying into his work ethic. Who else in the NFL brings that kind of fire? The Las Vegas Raiders have always been about grit, and Maxx embodies that. He's not just hyping up the fans. He's calling out his teammates to match his intensity. Imagine Crosby, fully healthy, paired with a revamped roster. Could this be the defense that carries us to playoffs? Let's talk about his journey back from injury next. What's got you most excited about this offseason, Raider Nation? Drop it in the comments, because we're just getting started. Last season was a gut punch for Maxx Crosby. An ankle injury in Week 2 against the Ravens lingered all year, and by Week 14 against the Bucks, it was too much. Our star edge rusher, a 4-time Pro Bowler, had to undergo surgery, missing the final 5 games. That's not the Maxx we know, who fights through everything to wreak havoc on quarterbacks. Despite the pain, Crosby still put up monster numbers. 45 tackles, 17 for loss, and 7.5 sacks. That's elite production from a guy who wasn't even at 100%. According to PFF, he still ranks 6th among edge defenders in the NFL, even with the injuries slowing him down. Can you imagine what he'll do when he's fully healthy? The good news? Maxx is back and feeling 100%, as he told reporters during OTAs. He's been grinding with teammates like Jackson Powers-Johnson, who joined him on his podcast, The Rush, to talk about their offseason work. Raider Nation, how hyped are you to see Maxx back in that black and silver, ready to destroy offensive lines? This is where the story gets juicy. Max's recovery isn't just about him. It's about what he's bringing to this team. Let's dive into his massive contract extension and what it means for the Raiders' future. The Las Vegas Raiders locked up their cornerstone this offseason with a 3-year, $106.5 million extension for Maxx Crosby, making him one of the highest-paid non-quarterbacks in the NFL at the time. That's a statement from the front office. Maxx is the face of this defense, and they're building around him. With Pete Carroll and GM John Spytek steering the ship, this move screams commitment. This extension, reported by Clutch Points and others, keeps Crosby in Vegas through 2029. At 27 years old, He's in his prime, ready to lead a defense that could be one of the NFL's best if they stay healthy. Pair him with Christian Wilkins and Malcolm Kuntz, both back from injuries, and you got a defensive line that's straight up scary. Who's going to stop this crew? Max's deal isn't just about money. It's about culture. As Albert Breer noted on X, Crosby represents what the Raiders want to be: tough, relentless, and all in. With new additions like Ashton Janney and Geno Smith, the Raiders are building a roster that matches Max's energy. Raider Nation, what do you think of this extension? Is it the best move of the offseason? Let's keep the momentum going and talk about how Max's leadership is shaping the new-look Raiders under Pete Carroll's regime. The Raiders' 2024 season was a roller coaster, no doubt. A 4-13 record stung, but the defense, even banged up, was a bright spot under defensive coordinator Patrick Graham, who's back for 2025. They kept games competitive despite losing key players like Crosby, Wilkins, and Kuntz to injuries. Now, with those stars returning, the Raiders are poised for a leap. Max's message about sacrifice hits home because he's living it. He stayed in Vegas all offseason, grinding with teammates like Malcolm Kuntz, who re-signed on a one-year deal after missing 2024 with knee injury. Kuntz said on The Rush that Max's work ethic pushed him to stay and rehab in Vegas. That's the kind of leadership that changes a franchise. New head coach Pete Carroll is all about competition, and Maxx is loving it. Nick Walters reported on X that Crosby is thriving in Carroll's compete culture during OTAs, with young talent like Ashton Janney and Brock Bowers, who Maxx praised for his work ethic. The Raiders are building something special. Can this defense be erging? What's your take, Raider Nation? Is our defense about to dominate the AFC? Let's break down the new roster next. The Las Vegas Raiders offseason was a full-on rebuild. Pete Carroll, Geno Smith, and draft picks like Ashton Janney signal a new era. But the defense, led by Maxx Crosby, is where the heart of this team lies. Analyst Ryan Wilson from CBS Sports said the Raiders' defense could be sneaky average or better, holding teams just enough to let the offense shine. That's huge for a team looking to climb the AFC West. Crosby's return is massive, but he's not alone. Christian Wilkins, back from a foot injury, and Malcolm Kuntz, recovered from a knee issue, join him on a defensive line that could be elite. Add in players like Tyree Wilson, who's improving, and Devin White at linebacker, and this unit has serious potential. But can they stay healthy? That's the big question. Max's leadership is the glue. His podcast chats with teammates like Jackson Powers Johnson show he's pushing everyone to match his intensity. Powers Johnson called the offseason one of the funnest times of his life, training with Maxx and soaking up Vegas. Raider Nation, are you feeling the hype for this defensive crew? Let's talk about the new offense and how it pairs with Max's defense to make the Raiders a contender. The Raiders' offense got a major facelift with Geno Smith at quarterback and Ashton Janney, the Heisman runner-up, at running back. Maxx is pumped about Janney, saying on The Rush he's ready to push the rookie to the limit in practice. That's the Raider way. Tough love to build greatness. Janney could fix a rushing attack that ranked near the bottom last season. Meanwhile, the defense led by Crosby is the foundation. Even with injuries, they were solid in 2024, and a healthy 2025 could see them dominate. PFF's Zoltan Bude noted the defense needs work, but with Crosby, Wilkins, and Kuntz back, plus Patrick Graham schemes, they're on the right track. Can they handle the Chiefs and Chargers in the division? Max's brutal honesty about hard work sets the tone. He's not just a star, he's a culture setter. With Carroll's leadership and a revamped roster, the Raiders could be a playoff dark horse. What's your prediction for the Raiders' record this season? Raider Nation, we're building something big in Las Vegas, and I want to hear from you. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Will Maxx and the Raiders shock the NFL in 2025? Smash that like button, subscribe, and share this video with your fellow Raider fans. Let's get loud, Raider Nation. The final scene is all about the future, and it's looking bright. Maxx Crosby's message isn't just words. It's a promise. The Raiders are working harder than ever, and with Crosby leading the charge, they're ready to fight for every win. The 2025 schedule kicks off against the Patriots, and Maxx will be out there setting the tone. The AFC West is brutal, But the Raiders have the pieces to compete. Crosby, Wilkins, and Kuntz on defense, plus Geno Smith and Janney on offense. Give us a balanced attack. Pete Carroll's experience and Max's fire could be the perfect combo to turn things around. Are you ready for a wild season? Raider Nation, this is our time. Maxx Crosby's message has me hyped, and I know you're feeling it too. What's the one game you can't wait to see in 2025? Let's talk about it in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more Las Vegas Raiders news. Share this with your crew, and let's get ready to raid the NFL in 2025. Go Raiders!